changed a little bit out here over the years. But we noticed one thing on our farm: it was not alive because of the conventional practices that had taken place over the years. And that's the one thing that we wanted to improve, because what we do is trying to improve what we have so that we can get it to the next generation. And that's key, because obviously if it doesn't get to the next generation, they're going to have it much more of an uphill battle, but it won't exist if we don't do the right steps. And so by being sustainable, which is making a conscious effort to not use certain pesticides, not put certain things into the ground, it helps us make better decisions in the long run. And we've seen our soils improve. Joe has done a tremendous amount of work with the biodynamic stuff, and David and Barbara have ventured in using a no cultivation practice, which I don't think there's anybody else doing that out here.
Probably not.
But we've all tried things over the years. When we first came out here in '81, we tried to go organic, and it failed. And it failed for probably a number of reasons. We didn't know enough, and more importantly, we didn't understand the things that we were working with, the humidity. We live in a maritime climate, so there's disease pressures all around us at all times. Last week it was 90 degrees. Today it's 60 degrees and rain. So what you don't see is that the buds have broke. It's bud break right now because of that 90-degree heat we have. So the funguses are already moving, whether we like it or not. We're sitting enjoying wine, having a great time, but the funguses are already doing their job. So it puts pressure on us immediately to go out there and start to figure out ways to deal with that. There's things that we use now to help us limit the amount of fungicides that we have to put out there so that you can have quality wines. And there's a big movement towards a sustainable practice. Sustainability is not organic because we can't. I don't think we can't, but we're trying to get in that direction of being able to do it. There are some organic farmers out here that are certified for vegetables and things like that, so it's possible. Unfortunately, grapes are very sensitive to many, many, many things over the years. Diseases and the pathogens that we deal with tend to get resistance. Like if you take too much aspirin, what happens? The headache gets stronger, and you take an Advil, and the Advil doesn't work, and you're taking something else. And funguses work that same way. They build resistance, and so we're constantly looking for new things to help improve what we do. But it starts with soil health. Soil, you've probably heard this many times, the wine is always made in the vineyard, and that's truly a true statement, because when you have healthy soil and healthy vines, you're going to make healthy fruit, which is going to make the healthy wine. So the most that we can do out there to bring in the high quality fruit, the better the wine quality, which means the less we have to manipulate it in the winery. And that's key. So the practices that we do take, not using herbicides, doing as little cultivation as possible, rotating crops through the ground, that helps build our soils. We're a giant sandbar that sticks out into the Atlantic 110 miles, so our soils are very fragile. We have very little organic matter out here. And with that, it's that much harder for us to grow things because organic matter is what holds the nutrients, the moisture in the soil, and it's key in producing healthy vines. So we use compost teas. Barbara is very big into composting tea, which is a natural way to get fertilizer to the plants and build the biodynamics of the soils up. I use organic fertilizers. I use no herbicides. I cultivate. Joe, talked a little bit about some of the biodynamic stuff that he does. And those are all things that we're constantly striving to try and help improve what we do. And I think it is a big reflection. As you taste these wines, I'm sure you can see there is a difference. And you've tasted wines around this region. It's not that their ways, the other ways are not good. It's just that we're trying to go in a different direction and pave a new path for it. Any questions?
Maybe we'll take some questions at the end.
Okay.
That might be helpful. Before I introduce my wife, Barbara, I do want to, and I neglected at the beginning here, to thank Glenn Thompson for putting this all together. Without him in this region, the word would not be getting out in the way that it is to so many people like yourselves. And I want to give him a round of applause.